think that today's message is do you. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to have it all together. It's not going to always feel inspiring. You know, it's not going to always look fun, but do you, however that looks like.
Got it from the mud, now I'm coming up. I've been working all week, I'm about to throw some. Call my girls up, come on, let's twerk some. I was up in the clubs with them strikes though. I'm a big dog, when you see me better walk. Walk that walk, like you talk that talk. Better be a boss, better be a boss.
So this is me actively pushing through some really hard, icky emotions, because you know, I've spent a lot of my time, a lot of my life, depending on how I feel to do the things that I love to do. And you know, honestly, that never really helped. That never really worked. I think that I've sort of been a little confused on whether, you know, what it means to be inspired to move forward in action versus moving forward in resistance. Sometimes I'll feel inspired and a little bit of resistance, and then sometimes I'll feel just inspired and happy, and I'm sort of kind of confused on when I should move forward, right? Because I want to move forward when the time is right. Like, I want to do things when the time is right, and I don't want to force anything in my life. And sometimes I end up being stagnant because of that very reason, because I want to make the right decision at the right time, and I want to make it so that I can have as little risk as possible. I want to make sure that I have as little consequences as possible. And I think living like that has really kept me stagnant. It has really kept me from pursuing and doing the things that I love. It has kept me from living a happy life. And don't get me wrong, like, my life is really good, right? My life is really good. It's just that sometimes mentally I don't feel that way. And it's almost like there are barriers outside of myself keeping me from doing the things that I want to do. Now, let's pause for a second, because I want to do a disclaimer. I have on my glasses right now, and I also have a ring light on, so you can kind of see a reflection in my glasses, so excuse that. But I am recording this video and this podcast on a whim, because you know, I'm just tired of holding myself back. I'm tired of waiting for the right time. One of the things about me is that I can be impulsive, but in the past, sometimes my impulsivity has been really beneficial for me. Times when I did not wait for the world to tell me yes. I didn't wait for external things to tell me yes, to look right, to look perfect for me to move forward. There was one time when I quit my job on a whim. At this time, I was working at a company that I had started off in the position that I wanted to be in, but that position was seasonal, and I stayed on, and I ended up being super miserable, and I was there for like 9 months. And one day I was just like, you know what? I'm done. Like, I can't do this anymore. I don't know what's going to happen once I quit this job. I've never quit a job before, but in that moment, I was done. I was just like, yeah. And I think honestly that I had mustered up the courage over time, because at the time I had a friend, and every, you know, so often we will talk on the phone, and I'll be like, girl, I'm about to quit this job. Oh, girl, I'm about to quit this job. I'm about to quit this job. I just kept saying it. And I think I just mustered up enough courage to finally quit. And I walked in, and I just had this feeling in my stomach that I just could not do it anymore. And I went to the HR office, and I was just like, I'm done. Like, I can't. Like, well, I didn't say it like that, of course. Like, I said some other stuff. But I quit. Right on the spot, I quit. That was the most impulsive thing that I had ever done in my life. And it turned out really good because y'all want to know what happened? That night, when I quit, I didn't even go home. I sat in my car. I pulled over like to the side of the road. And I was on the phone with my friend for a couple of hours. And I had just told her what I had done. And I was just like, she was just holding space for me at the time. And I was just expressing how, you know what, I have faith that God is going to come through for me. Do y'all know that very night, I just so happened to check my email and I got an email back from a lady from another company asking if I was interested in a position. Y'all, sometimes impulsivity is my friend, okay? I know that it's not always the best thing to do because on the other hand, like sometimes I have jumped to conclusions, which has been a result of me being impulsive. But on the other hand, sometimes my impulsivity has been amazing and everything was aligned. Rewind, right? Let me give y'all a little bit of backstory. So as I was working this job that I really hated, for a minute, for like maybe a couple of months, I was just sitting around miserable, sad, down, depressed, blah, 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 wondering what I was going to do. And then one day something dawned on me that I should reach out to an old hiring manager that I interviewed for months before just to see like, was it something that I could work on or, if there were opportunities for growth that she seen in me when I interviewed with her. And I sent that email maybe like a month or two prior to me quitting. And I think she responded and she was just like, no, I didn't really see anything. I think it was just educational or experience. I think the other lady had more experience than you, blah, blah, blah. And so that was the same woman who had messaged me that night after I had quit my job. And she had no idea I had just quit my job. And I had no idea that she was going to email me back. But, I just was following my impulses, right? And it all turned out really well. So that brings me back to this episode that I'm doing. Like sometimes I feel inspired and resistance at the same time. And other times I feel inspired and there's no resistance. But in the moments when I do feel resistance, it's almost like I have to impulsively just jump off the ledge and do the things that I want to do, like this podcast episode or this YouTube video, and not allow the thoughts, the barriers within myself to keep me from doing the things that I want to do. Like even now, I'm sitting at home and my family members are home. And in the past, like I would have to literally wait until everybody was gone in order to record because I just felt like they were judging me or whatever. I just felt kind of shy about it. And I've grown to a place where I don't really care. Like whatever, they hear me, whatever. It's not like I am cussing and hooping and hollering and doing anything crazy. No, I am being vulnerable enough to spread positivity and light into the world through my own stories, through my own experiences in life. So yeah, I think that today's message is do you. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to have it all together. It's not going to always feel inspiring. It's not going to always look fun, but do you, however that looks like. Even if, like, just looking back at times when I just did not have the willpower to move forward and do the things that I love to do, right? Because I just did an episode on me wanting to go skating and I couldn't bring myself to go skating that day because my willpower bottle or whatever had emptied out. Okay, I had bottomed out on my willpower and I just could not do it. And so fine, that's fine, whatever. But I'm here now doing a podcast episode / YouTube video And I would not have done that in the past. So, do you? Earlier today, I was scrolling on TikTok, as I do most days now, because TikTok is an aphrodisiac. And I heard this woman say, she said that the biggest form of oppression is allowing how others feel about you dictate how you feel about you. That was a word, y'all. That was a whole word. When she said that, I went straight to my notes and I wrote that down, because I was like, whoa. Like, you know, yes, there are people out there who has the power to hold us back, right? They have the power to change our lives, whether negatively or positively. But we ultimately have the power to feel how we want to feel about ourselves, no matter what anyone else thinks about us, no matter what anyone else feels about us. We have the ultimate power to feel how we want to feel about us. And so before I started this episode, I was thinking to myself, I said, okay, I can sit back and continue to not do what I want to do. Like, I could use the excuse of not having my contacts in my eyes, people being at home, having to wear these glasses, you know, because of the glare, the fear of what other people might think about me. I can use those as excuses to keep me from doing what I want to do. But then I will be actively participating in my own oppression. Child, who? Not me, not me, not me. I'm not doing it, okay? I am not. I refuse to actively participate in my own oppression. My biggest affirmation lately has been, I bring something of value to the table. Now, I might not know what that something is, right? Like, I don't know specifically what it is, but I don't need to know what it is. Why? Because I know that whatever it is, it's of value at whatever table I'm sitting at, whether it's in my career, whether it's in my hobbies, whether it's in my family, whether it's in my friends. Okay, I bring something of value to the table. And I want y'all to sit with that, okay? Because whoever is watching this video needs to know that you bring something of value to the table. You don't have to know what that value is. You don't necessarily even have to understand what you're bringing to the table, but just know, like you know, that you're bringing something of value to the table. Repeat that to yourself, like how I've been doing. Say that to yourself over and over again, as much as you need to, in order to understand that you don't have to know it all in order to be valuable, right? All you have to do is know that you bring something of value to the table. Whatever you bring, it is going to be of value to somebody's table. Things are going to align to where you're sitting at a table where somebody needs something that you have, and that's just on period, point blank. Okay, so yeah, that. And then also, I think that's it. I think that's all that I wanted to come on here and say. I think that's all I feel inspired to say. Let me think. Honestly, I just been feeling really eager to get in front of the camera. I have been feeling really inspired to just speak my mind and live out loud. That's what I heard too. And the other day I heard someone say, don't be afraid to live out loud. And I think that many people are afraid to live out loud. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, it's very much reasonable to be afraid to live out loud, because some people are just crazy. Some people are crazy. But I think that there's a happy medium between living out loud and having safe spaces to express your most vulnerable self. Safe spaces like friends, therapy, family, your journal, maybe even, you know, you come on here, you record a video and podcast and you just don't release it. Whatever it is, have you a safe space, and have you a space where you are able to express yourself loudly and boldly.